I'm filming.
What's up, everybody? Today I have kind of a surprising build to me in the stand. This is a SCOR 2030. This is made by BMC. BMC is a Swiss brand that I have always been a fan of, and I've owned 3 BMCs myself. I had a cross machine, a URS gravel bike. I didn't like the URS very much, and then I had this mountain bike called the Agonist, and it was awesome. It was like a 110 travel, like kind of before the whole downcountry thing was even a thing.
You loved that bike when you had it.
I love that bike. Yeah, I raced it a lot. It was super cool. The reason why this is surprising to me is that I did not know until very recently that SCOR was part of BMC. I saw the review for this 2030 on Pink Bike and thought, oh, that's a really interesting bike. It's a 64-degree head angle. It's a 120 in the rear and then 140 in the front with like super slack, and I think it's still relatively lightweight. It just seemed like an interesting bike, and then recently we just had a happenstance situation happen where the BMC sales rep reached out, and that's whenever I made the connection that like, oh, SCOR is BMC. I don't know how I missed that. If you missed that, don't feel bad. I missed it too. So this is super exciting for me because I've always been a fan of BMC's bikes, and this new brand that they've created seems like a winner to me. It's the same old super forward-thinking design under a new kind of, I hate to say the word trendier, but like it's kind of like, I think it fits the target audience better for what these bikes are, which they are extremely progressive trail bikes. So let's dive in. So this frame is a size medium large, and I love when companies do medium larges because that is my size. I am medium and large simultaneously. It's got a 477 reach number. If you are worried about geometry and that kind of stuff, it's pretty long and it's very slack, 64.5 degree head angle. It has a very nice angle adjust headset where it's got a notch so you can tell what direction it is. If you put it forward, it's slack, and if you put it backwards, it's 64.5 and then 65.5, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully that's right, because I didn't look it up before I started talking, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. The cups, we'll get to pressing those cups in later. I really like this, the design of this bike. So under here there is, I like the design on this, and the bag is in here too. Whoa, there we go. I like some of the like flavor of it, nothing to declare.
Flavor.
Yeah, like the flavor text, you know.
I think like the flare is what you're trying to say.
And then totally tubed, so like you don't have to fish any cables through here unless you want to. We could probably figure out how to fish if we tried. But yeah, just a super well sorted bike here. Comes stock with a Fox shock. We will be swapping that out, and that's going to be interesting, y'all. We're going to be resizing the air spring on this fork. This is a 130 currently, and we're going to be bumping it to 140 and swapping out to this RockShox Deluxe Ultimate rear shock. But before we do anything, let's weigh it. I even really like the seat tube. Like it just looks cool. Like this is just a cool looking bike. This is with the UDH Fox rear shock, no headset, in grams, 3,400 grams, 7.6 pounds. Not light. This is not like our normal XC builds here. I mean, this is a trail bike, so that doesn't seem like it's too heavy for me. It's, from what I understand, the frame is built up to enduro bike standards in terms of the construction of the frame. I don't know what that means, and that's just what they said in their marketing. So I'm just gonna repeat what was said in their marketing, and that this bike is sturdy. Let's just start putting stuff on it, right? I'm going to start off by swapping the rear shock out. Just seems like a logical place to begin. Again, if you're curious why I'm switching from this perfectly fine Fox shock to Rock Shocks, it's because of business. Shram and all of the people there are always working super closely with us and coming out to our events and that kind of thing. Fox does never ever reach out for no reason, and they make great products, but they do not have any sort of sales rep type outreach, so I'd rather support the people that are supporting us. Oh, my jeans are too tight to so what I've done now is I've removed the two trunnion bolts off of the shock. That was pretty simple. The rear looks kind of complicated though. Check this out. I have looks like the hardware on the shock has like a bearing on it or something like that. Let's see. So I took this is like a mud guard for the shock. I took that off. Let me set that down, and then let's just start taking stuff apart. At time of filming, SCOR does not have any schematic available for this bike. It's brand new. I think it like literally just came out like a couple weeks ago. So we are going in blind, which is great because that's what I like to do. This kind of cradle, I'm gonna call it, pulls off, and then this is now totally free and clear, kind of like almost like a clamping kind of design. That's cool. I've never worked on a bike with this kind of design. And then there are is this a bearing or yeah
it's a bearing.
And looks like there's it looks like it unthreads from, there's like a Allen key slot in there, so let's investigate that next. I found a bearing drift that I think fits in the shock. Let's see what happens. My solution to pressing this hardware off of this shock, it should work, but in the event it doesn't work, then I guess we're done building it. I tried to call BMC a couple times and no one answered the phone, so I don't want to wait around, so I'm just gonna see what happens. What do you think?
I say send it, and then if it doesn't work, put the Fox back on the bike,
Well,
and then continue building, and then revisit this, like, changing the shock again.
Well, if it doesn't work, then
It's the universe telling you that you need to run Fox on the bike, is what I'm hearing.
no, if it doesn't work, it means I've broken the mounting hardware and would have to order new.
That honestly might, can we just do that to begin with? That seems easier.
Well, this mounting hardware is only compatible with this bike, so it needs to come off regardless. Let's see if I can make it happen. Well, you know, the tool broke in out there.
That was dramatic.
These bearings, this is a Fox part, not a SCOR part. I was not aware of these. This is called the eyelet roller bearing from Fox, which is actually cool, but you need a $110 specialty tool to remove this. So that's why I just need a new rod, so it's not a big deal. The press kit is still likely okay, although...
So are we good to go now?
Yeah. All of that was for nothing.
Yay, bikes.
It won't come off that way. Anyway, now I have like a more reasonably sized micro bearing press because
Love the positivity.
you gotta stay positive here.
Let's put it in.
We could just put this on the bike. Total detour. So remember, this was like 8 Newton meters.
Something like that.
I'm so happy that I did that. This bike is able to go from a 120 to a 130 in the rear. This shock will make it 1/5, or sorry. Whoa, not that big.
I was gonna say,
No.
damn.
This shock splits straight down the middle and will be 125. The reason I'm doing that is I don't want to wait around for Rock Shocks to resize this, and the bike can handle the longer stroke. This is a 155 by 47.5 Fox shock. This is a 155 by 50 RockShox shock, and I don't know if you can even see the difference. It's very small. If you want a 130 rear travel, it would be a 52.5 stroke length. So we're gonna split the difference and go right in the middle, which is cool. This kind of slides back in there, and then that cradle just, I mean, it's the right size hardware and everything. We just gotta put the cradle thing back on. All right, so now we have a 125 rear travel. I am going to get the torque wrench out so that we make sure that that is correct. I am pretty lazy when it comes to like stem bolts and that kind of thing.
I was about to call you out for not torquing a lot of things.
Well, I mean, like,
I'm proud of you.
I've been a mechanic for like 8 years. I know what 5 Newton meters feels like with a torque wrench on a stem.
Your arm's not calibrated.
It is.
Debatable.
Okay. Got, kind of fits under the seats too.
The RockShox is
It's on. So the rear brake should just go through. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Haphazard cable routing. Might have to undo the top there. Let me see. I don't even know why it's obvious that the rear brake would come out the non-drive side. So
It's fine. We're making it.
We opened the wrong one. A little frazzled from the shock excursion. I'm just really happy I don't have to wait though. Waiting sucks. It looks good.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think the brake hose is long?
I think it's really questionable. Real easy process.
Low consequence situation. Sweet. This is where we're gonna run XC parts on the bike, y'all. The drivetrain's not XC, but it's still XX. But we're gonna be running a Roval Control SL wheelset on this bike. I think it's just gonna be awesome. I've never broken a Roval Control SL wheelset before, and I just don't see me needing a trail wheelset. So
Our local trails don't get too rowdy.
Like, I'm interested more in having more suspension travel and more progressive geometry than heavy duty durable. So this is going to be the fun, lightweight, I'm hoping lightweight trail bike. It has a ground control limited edition. What do they call these? The soil searching ones?
Yeah. Soil searching, ground control, grid T7.
The soil searching ground controls 2.35 seems like a fitting tire for this build, mostly just because of aesthetics. Like, it really looks cool and is not so much tire that I will hate riding it. These are trail tires in my eyes, and I'm excited to do trail bike stuff with my XC wheels and my XC tires.
All right.
Should I have read the manual?
I mean, it says like,
Maybe that would have told us about the shock hardware.
well, yeah, you should have just like played the video.
Time to press in the headset. The headset, I'm gonna run it in the slack setting because that's kind of the thing that drew me to this bike in the first place. The top cup does not feel like it has a ovalization to it, which is fine. So we're just gonna have to line that up. The bottom cup is ovalized, and so it's very hard to mess that up. So you just kind of, let's set that one in there. Put this on the bottom. The top one, we'll just try to aim really well.
Oh boy.
Oh no. I do have a headset press, but I don't like using it, so I'm not going to. And maybe we'll break 2 Abby tools today.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
Not a big deal at all. One thing to note here is that the adjustment on the geometry requires you to pop this in and out and flip it around. So it's not like a easy peasy geometry adjustment. It is there. It's nice that it's there. I don't think most people who are buying this bike will put it in the steep setting. I feel like if you are literally buying this bike, it's because it has wild geometry numbers, and you might as well use those wild geometry numbers. Actually, we're gonna move the bike because we need to do the suspension job. Be right back. We're gonna do a air spring swap on this bike. Sweet. Just loosening the 2 bolts on the bottom. And then usually like kind of a tap will break it free. See if I can pop this one. We successfully popped the air side, but the damper side is not popped free yet. Try that again. So yeah, this is just some cornmeal that we use to absorb the fluid. It's gross, but it works really well. And we don't do a whole lot of suspension work around here. A lot of the times it's pretty convenient and easy to just send stuff away to the service centers, especially being that RockShox's service center is literally
40 minutes
40
away.
minutes away from here. And jobs like this though, I don't mind doing at all. It's kind of fun sometimes. And we're not gonna do a seal service. This fork is perfectly fine with the seals it has right now. Yeah. I watched a video on how to do this and I'm kind of going off memory. Forks are not as complicated as they seem a lot of the time. So I think the first step is to remove the buttercup and kind of reverse engineer. So this is the new 140 millimeter air spring. Let's see what it takes to pull this one off. Oh, okay, tricky. There's actually threads in it, so we need to get 2 flat heads, 2 wrenches, and then we can pull it off. So bigger than that. The other one looks small. Pause.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so actually, I don't think you need to remove the buttercup. We're gonna find out. So what I'm doing now is pulling the snap ring that holds the air spring in place out. There you go, it's out. I let the air out, but as you can see, it still didn't let all the air out. So be careful whenever you're doing that, is what I should have said before I started doing it.
I was not ready for a little pop it got me.
Hey, okay, so this is
Hey.
the 130 air spring. We're reverse engineering, so that is, this piece was sitting like this against that piece. Yeah, they have a new snap ring and a new O-ring. This fork is really not that old, so like I'm gonna just see. Yeah, we're just gonna reuse the one that's already out of the packaging because it seems like it worked just fine. The one thing we do need to do with this though is put the tram butter onto the new spring. Pretty easy repair when it's all said and done. This is kind of weird to reuse the grease, but just felt right.
I have no words.
You shouldn't. It's the same thing as going and getting the grease from the jar, you know, making progress here. There's no tokens in this fork currently, it looks like. The trick is going to be pushing it in far enough to install the new, well actually I'm going to reuse it, but the lock ring. Science.
Is that science?
Yeah, because I was...
Were you
whenever I
supposed to
put
do
the-
that at like the beginning?
Well, I did.
Okay.
It just didn't let all the air out. And then whenever I'm pushing against that, I've let air into the system again. So
Got
now
it.
I've bled it back out. Let's push that in. Should be much easier to push that piece in. bleed out any excess air. There we go. Are you having fun doing suspension time?
Yeah, actually, because like the heater just turned on and I'm currently in like the sweet spot where I have hot air like blowing on me right now. So I can't move now and I'm sorry.
No, you're totally good. This is like a pretty long lock ring. Kind of has to be to keep the air in. But because of the way it's designed, I'm gonna try to do like a red in maneuver here. Yeah, and just see if I can like kind of. Yep. And maybe just push it in now. That lock ring is really important. Feels like we did a decent job. It's definitely fully seated in there. I'm feeling good about that. It's calling for 30 milliliters in the damper lowers. So that's 25. Maxima dynamic, 5 more in there. And then 15 in the air spring side that we just replaced. Let's see if it works.
That's like magic.
It's science and magic. I've already installed the crown race. It's super flat. I kind of like the look of it. And then this is not. Where is that weird spacer? I have a mystery spacer, has a notch in it. This top cap has a notch in it. Are they supposed to combine into like some kind of drainage situation? I mean, that looks like it's intentional. Maybe we should have read the manual.
Oh, well, put it on.
Yeah, we're just gonna put it on. I'm not reading no manual.
Yeah. I gotta pick up the kids soon. We gotta get this rolling.
Gonna be running a 50 mil stem on this. I ordered a matching Roval stem to go with this bike, and it hasn't come in the mail yet. So just gonna use this Descendant SRAM one until the Roval one comes in. Both I think would probably be totally good stems to use. Something's not right. Oh, I just put it on upside down. Okay. There we go. Now it works. I don't know like if this spacer is supposed to line up with that or not, or why it has a notch or anything like that. But it is just the way it's gonna be. Might have to cut the fork down a little bit. One thing that really also drew me to this bike was how low its stack height is. Most bigger bikes have like really tall stack heights, but like that's like not really my style. So I really appreciate that this has got a semi lower stack height. It's not as low as like an XC bike, but Roval control bar. This is a flat bar. What are the dimensions on this thing? 780. It doesn't say, it just says flat, so we're just gonna go with it's flat. It's not, but it has a slight rise in it. If you guys are looking for parts like this, definitely check out thebicyclestation.com. We have tons of stuff available. Most of the stuff you saw in this build could be yours if you buy it from us. We also have some other of SCOR's bikes that we just brought in, and you are welcome to also buy one of those from us. Some pretty cool stuff. I think we have 2 other bikes from them in stock right now. So
Yeah, there's 2.
2. And maybe I don't even swap that stem out because it's sick.
Looks good.
It looks good. Okay, but I did buy a Roval stem, so I'm pretty matchy, so I'm probably gonna swap it for the Roval one, but matching wheels, matching stem, matching handlebar. So,
Matchy.
yeah. Okay, now that I've seen the black though, the black is cooler.
Your brake hose is way too short.
I know. It's no big deal. Basically, I just have to dig through some drawers and find a new hose. I usually keep hoses around.
I hope I didn't throw them away.
Yeah, you be throwing good stuff away all the time.
Oh, it's on the ground? Trash.
Torque caps. We got one of my favorite things. It makes putting the wheels in and out really easy. Increases the stiffness, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds good to me, and I'm not going to question rock shocks on it. I just think it's a cool feature. It kind of like makes it the wheel fit in the bike more. That's a good looking bike so far. I'm pretty excited about this.
I think that the Pike is a lot better than the green layer.
Yeah, we were gonna originally, before that whole air spring thing, we were gonna maybe put a lyric on this, but
the shades of green are way off, and it just looked real bad.
Right. Pretty similar to the Pike. The biggest difference is the uppers are a little bit burlier and stiffer, and you lose 150 grams by going to the Pike. So because my build's so lightweight, the Pike makes more sense anyway. Press Fit 92 BB. Every BMC bike is press fit. It's a very great press fit. It's one of the few companies I've never seen a bad press fit bottom bracket from BMC or SCOR also. So nothing to super worried about with this one in my opinion. The frame has this really nice integrated kind of chain guide thing, but with the way that the transmission, I don't think this will work with my chainring setup, so I'm gonna try to either raise it up or take it off. Nice feature, even though I'm not gonna end up using it. I appreciate that it's there. And the reason we're not using it is because I have the bash guards installed on the chainring from SRAM, so I prefer the bash guards to the chain guide. SCOR has this cool thing where they have frame specific protection pre-cut. This is for the top tube. Came with a cool pattern for there. And then it's like a kind of a
maroonish brown.
Yeah, that's a cool pattern. The bottom has their logo on it. I'll probably, I don't see any reason not to use this. Right?
You might as well. It's cool. They have like a bunch of different.
You can literally put anything you want on it. So you can custom design stickers. Maybe we'll do that. That'd be kind of cool. Do like a bicycle station.
Yeah, we'll see.
Really
Sky's
cool.
the limit.
Sky's the limit. So the SCOR Make It Yours, they send out just like a cool, I'm gonna say on-brand roll with the bike, but you can literally order whatever you want. Maybe we'll do that. Finish the build up, kind of. I mean, I gotta bleed the brakes and a I have all the parts on it so we can weigh it. It's honestly pretty light. I'm hoping for 26 pounds, but I bet it's 27, which is still really nice for a bike like this. A little bit heavier than I said.
28.6-ish?
Yeah, a little bit heavier, like we said, but still a really good weight. I mean, this is a full-blown like trail machine. Oh, Jib's getting the weight now. You gonna weigh a bike? There you go. Yep, that's how you do it. If you would like to have us build you a bike, reach out. We have all the links below. This has been the SCOR 2030. I'm excited to try this bike out and see what I think about it. Definitely a really cool new brand, and it is honestly a rebrand. I love BMC's stuff, and I understand the thought process behind like, hey, BMC is a really well-known road brand. Let's do another marketing tactic on a full-blown, like really sick trail bike. Like that makes perfect sense to me. So if you've never heard of SCOR before, it is a well-established brand, and you should have no fear of jumping into a bike from them. And if you want us to get you one, let us know. Anyway, SCOR 2030. We'll see you all in the next one.
Gentry. She's too busy working on the bike.